Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of Cell in the Community with me, Hafiz Muhammad Umar. And for today's show, I've travelled down to Hertfordshire, Hampstead Town Cricket Club to be precise, where there is an amazing part of history being made today. Hertfordshire Comets are playing their first ever visually impaired cricket match versus Berkshire Stags. It is today, the 26th of August 2025. The inaugural match for Hertfordshire visually impaired cricket is played here at Hampstead Town Cricket Club as part of Cricket Week, marking the club's 175th anniversary. And for those of you who tune in regularly will know that I am blessed with a younger brother called Raz, who has Down syndrome and is visually impaired. And I'm delighted to report to you that Raz is out there involved in the match as we speak. And during the course of this cricket match, I am going to be joined by several amazing people, and they'll be sharing their stories around their own professional roles as well as why they feel so passionate about inclusion. And my first guest today is Councillor Catherine McArevey. Welcome to the show, Councillor Catherine.
Thank you.
Catherine is not just a councillor but also the Mayor of Dacorum Council in Hertfordshire. Catherine is a qualified nurse and does a lot of amazing work both in her professional role and in her leisurely time. So Catherine, tell us a bit about yourself, please.
Hi, so my name's Catherine and I am the Mayor of Dacorum. I'm very passionate about improving inclusion within our communities. I, as a nurse, have obviously spent many years recognising there's health inequalities, and it's something that I'm very keen to address and tackle. So when I became mayor, I said that anything around inclusion and health is something that I wanted to find out more about. So I was speaking to Hemel Town Cricket Club and they mentioned the visually impaired team. Now I have a friend who has two visually impaired children. They were born with a condition called nystagmus, and life is more difficult for them. And they have opportunities to join in mainstream sports, but there's nothing specific for them that is as easily accessible. I wanted to come today because it gave me an opportunity to be able to show the visually impaired community that there are services for them, but also to encourage other clubs who do a wide range of sport, including cricket, but a range of clubs, to think, is there a way that they can adapt their sport to make it more inclusive? Because actually, we don't always want separation, we want inclusion. And if we can encourage others to think, what if I, for example, with cricket, the ball is larger and it makes a noise. Is there something similar that can be done in other sports? And if I can in any way support people to think slightly differently about how they can make what they're doing more inclusive, then I will be very pleased with that.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for that beautiful intro there, Catherine. And for our listeners listening in from Luton and Bedfordshire, if you're wondering, well, it's all good and well for Hafiz Muhammad Umar Asenko going off to Hertfordshire and getting Raz involved. What is happening in Luton? Some of you will be aware that at the beginning of July this year, we had Professor Richard Grayson from Hampstead Town Cricket Club coming to Luton Town and Indians Cricket Club, where I coordinate disability cricket, to run a taster session for the visually impaired players. And our aim is to do exactly what Catherine is mentioning there, that as a cricket club to be able to offer visually impaired cricket in some form or another. We've been running a disability cricket captain in Luton for over 12 years now. This was our 13th season.
Wow.
We started as a disability cricket club hub where we offer cricket to people with a whole host of disabilities. Now we want to make sure that they are those specific disabilities that we cater for separately because of the need, like visually impaired, for example, and that is something that is in the pipeline. And the area we're looking at is wheelchair cricket, because for somebody on a wheelchair, getting between the wickets, chasing the ball is very different to those that have some mobility.
Yes.
And we recognize and value that. We want to make sure that's offered to them. And tabletop cricket is something that I don't know if you come across or not.
I haven't.
And you haven't. So that's where we use a table tennis table, but we use equipment to replicate what's happening on the cricket pitch. And there are markers we move around. There is a small cricket bat the size of your palm, and we use a golf ball sized cricket ball, which is shaped in a cricket ball with the seam and everything. It's rolled down from a ramp, and all you do is you push it to different areas to score runs, and there are white markers which can also count as being out if they are moved around to stop the ball from hitting the sides.
Fantastic.
And so it's creating that kind of a cricket feel on a tabletop cricket, a tennis table, sorry. And these are competitions that are held nationally in
Wow.
schools, and the finals are played at Lords each year. So that's been around for the last few years. And that's one example of adaptation that you're talking about
Yes.
there. And for other sports, again, we work very closely with Luton Town Football Club, with the disability football they offer. I went to interview somebody at Bedford Blues Rugby to look at how rugby is also adapted to ensure people are included. Riverside Tennis Club in Bedford also does a lot of disability tennis, as I'm sure throughout Hertfordshire.
Yes.
There's a whole host on offer. So when it comes to disability and sport, Catherine, from your professional role as a nurse, what would you say to people who think, oh, you know what, once I have a disability, I've been diagnosed, that's it, my chances are limited, I cannot really do much sport? What would you say to them?
I would say that there is something for everybody out there. I've always had the attitude that if somebody tells me that I can't do something, I'm quite determined to show them that I can. So if there is a sport that you're particularly interested in, then actually approach a club and say, I want to do this, how can you help me to do it? And I think it's been out there and been open to trying to do it in a different way. There is always a way, it's just a case of how. And I have seen people doing some amazing things that I wouldn't be able to do. But it's having that mindset of how can I do it, as opposed to I can no longer do it, because everybody has capabilities, and it's using what you have and your strengths to the best that you can, and there is always a way. I think, when we look at the Olympics, there are people with a range of disabilities who still find ways to participate in sport. And I would say, actually, it's an opportunity for you to thrive in a sport, whether it's a sport you've previously done or in a new sport. But I think it's about being brave and courageous and saying, how can I do it? And for family members to be supportive and say, we have a family member, how can we include them in things? And there is always a way. So I think it's just be positive, speak to your health professionals if you're unsure about any risks or anything that you might need to consider. So speak to your health professionals, as occupational therapists, as nurses, as GPs, and your consultants, and have a chat and say, I want to do this. Is there anything that I need to be more aware of with whatever condition it is that I've got? And get that advice, and then get out there and give it a go. You will only know the challenges when you try it, and if you don't try it, you will not know what the challenges really are. So I think get out there, try it, and tell people, so that other people who may be thinking, actually, I'm not sure if I can do it, can be inspired by you.
Absolutely. And on that note of inspiration, listeners, if you have been joining in over the last few months, we started this initiative around April 2024. It's been about almost a year and a half now, to coincide with Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month. And since then, excuse me, we've been our aim was to run one new show a week during term time. With me being a Senko, found it much easier to be able to liaise with colleagues in and around education, health and care during term time, and I want to respect and value their time during the school holidays. That aside, we had some amazing inspirational people on the show in the past, Catherine. So from grassroots level, as Catherine was saying, we got a young man out there playing today. It's called Steve Humphreys. We covered his story a few weeks ago, which is absolutely amazing. From being diagnosed with Leber's disease, losing his eyesight within a month, being really down, to be representing England against Australia 2 years later.
Wow.
Was wonderful. Another amazing lady we've interviewed, and you probably have heard of her, I may even know her, is called Baroness Gray Thompson.
Yes.
She's been on our show, and her story is just amazing. Probably one of the most celebrated Paralympics medal winner for Team GB.
Yes.
And she very kindly took her time out and joined us on the show a few months ago. And again, a huge inspiration and advocate for disabilities at national level.
Yes.
I'm talking government policy level, where anything that's improved at House of Commons has to go through House of Lords, and she's somebody who has authority to be able to oversee that. So from grassroots level to the very top, we are quite fortunate within the first 18 months or so of this show starting up to really get everybody on the show, and then looking at opportunities within our communities. And for clubs, as Catherine was saying earlier, a really good way of starting off is by reviewing your membership form. I often ask clubs, how many members do you have with special education needs or disability? They're like, oh, we're not sure. Well, why aren't you sure? Because that data isn't being collated. But how can you collate them? Well, have a section. It's like for job application when somebody's applying. Just ask them, do you have any additional needs that we can cater for? Yeah. And you'd be amazed to find out that a lot of these hidden disabilities are not really obvious.
Yes.
So if members are diagnosed with a condition like autism, for example, ADHD, etc., you might not be able to tell when they are playing, because they might be brilliant at what they're doing, but actually there's added need.
Yes.
So there might be small adaptation needed. So that's how you can really be more vocal. And then on the 3rd of August, when we had our CALM event in Luton, we were quite lucky, Kathleen, to have the England disability team coming and playing an exhibition game between the first team and second team. And a lot of people were saying, well, these guys would really give our first team a very strong match.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. We look at ability rather than disability.
Yes.
And I think a lot more clubs, if they can change that approach, what is it that this young person has to offer, this player has to offer, rather than looking at the disability.
Yes.
They can be far more inclusive. And Catherine, I'm going to come back to the health side. Say, for example, if somebody has developed a heart condition, naturally they get exhausted far more quickly, they become breathless.
Yes.
They will still want to be involved in sport. But they're equally worried, or somebody who's asthmatic perhaps,
yes.
and thinking, what if I overexert myself? Am I going to be putting myself in greater danger by taking up a sport? What would you say to them?
So I would say always seek advice from your medical provider, but usually even with something like asthma, actually sport is really beneficial for your overall physical health. And even with heart conditions, it's okay to do sport, but I think it's about just checking how much you should be doing at any one time. So you might be advised to do short periods or a more sustained, longer activity like a brisk walk rather than running. But I think that's individual advice you would need to get from your health professional, just to make sure of a way of doing it safely. But medically, it's very unusual for sport to be anything other than positive. Obviously, you may get some injuries, which is something that happens in sport. So that's for harm to your health usually, but actually sport is really good, particularly with if you have conditions as well like diabetes. It's really positive to be doing exercise. Exercise is beneficial for everybody, even people who may not be able to get out of bed. There's still exercises people can do and benefit from. So I think it's a case of speaking to your health providers and saying, how can I do sport? What can I do? And listen to your body as well. If you do find that actually you're struggling on a particular day, rest. Take time out, rest a little bit. But rest doesn't mean don't do it at all. I think it's listen to your health providers and see what they have to say. But there is always a way.
Brilliant. Catherine, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
That's okay. It's been a pleasure as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm now joined by Judith Spencer. Judith is one of the players representing Hertfordshire visually impaired cricket team here in Hemel Hempstead today. Welcome to the show, Judith.
Yes, thank you very much.
Judith, tell us a bit about yourself, please.
Well, I'm actually now in my 60th year, so I'm visually impaired now, but I wasn't born with it. I have an inherited eye condition, retinitis pigmentosa, and it's probably affected me more later on in life. So when I actually retired from my previous job in sort of 2016, and went helping out with the GP practice, etc. from there on, and I looked to do sports, to look at what sports I could do. As a youngster, loved my sports, loved participating in a variety of sports, and then obviously children and work came away, and I was probably veered away from my sports really. But now, following my sort of semi-retirement, I looked into getting back into sailing. I previously represented Hertfordshire under-16s in sailing.
Wow.
So I thought, I'll pick up, see how I get on, sort of thing. And did a bit of Googling and found GBR Blind Sailing. Contacted the Commodore there, Lucy Hodges, and touched base with her. She encouraged me to go up. They were just about to have a competition actually in the October. So she said, look, come along and have a sail, let me assess you, and then see if we can sort of take part. And so I went up there early, assessed me, and started to take part in the sailing. And so that was probably around 2019.
Wow.
And it's evolved from there, and continue regular sailing sessions with blind sailing, which are fantastically supported by some sighted volunteers, and we get across the country in different clubs. Fantastic bit of excitement, teamwork, and in nature, and at the will of nature, etc. And eventually that culminated in June last year. I represented GB in what they call the blind match racing, which is there's two different types of racing, so I'm not going to complicate you with them, but there's two different types of racing, and this was the blind match racing competition held in Lake Geneva, and we were fortunate the fact that myself and the team I was with, that we got gold, and our other team got silver. So,
Brilliant.
So GB
Congratulations.
beat the French on their own patch, which but no, I say that it was a great competition, and that was, I think it was about 9 countries, other European countries, and Australians as well out there as well. So it was a good experience. So the blind sailing continues, and that training continues. I also, and what I'd say about the blind sailing is, what I find inspirational about that is the fact that I would have never, as a sighted person, I would have never had the opportunity to represent GB in an international competition. But actually, and I know it sounds weird for me to say it, but my visual impairment has actually given me a benefit, because I've now represented GB in an international competition, which I wouldn't have done as a sighted person. So it's opened up lots of other doors.
Absolutely. And Judith, thank you so much for sharing that story with us. And listeners, this is part of the reason why we started this show in the first place, and we bring on amazing people like Judith, and we had Steve Humphries a few weeks ago about his journey into international cricket, again very similar to what you described there, Judith. And we want people to feel empowered. You know, life is such that it's unpredictable, and when somebody's diagnosed with a condition, whether it's medical or SEN, sometimes we feel down and thinking, well, this is going to limit my opportunities. Well, in some cases, actually, there are those hidden opportunities that might not have been available otherwise. And it sounds like the way you described it there, Judith, that perhaps is one of those opportunities that you've been able to use and thankfully share with us, and hopefully that inspire other people who might have been diagnosed with a condition recently that might be feeling down, actually encourage them to look out there, search for opportunities that they have an interest in. So tell us a bit about how does blind sailing work then? It sounds
blind sailing is typically you've got two sighted people on the boat and two visually impaired. However, the type of sailing that I just talked about, where we're world champions, is that it's rather unusual, because you have someone sighted on the boat initially, and then after a certain time, they basically have to come off the boat. And it's then left to the visually impaired people to sail the boat around the course.
Wow.
And it's all done on sound buoys. So the boats have noise. The different boats have noise, and the sound buoy and the buoys you've got to negotiate around have different buoys as well. So it's done by sound. But also you've got to listen to the sound. You've got to feel the wind. So it's quite tactical, and it's quite an aggressive form of sailing, actually, that particular type of sailing. But it's great fun, and you just got to work together as a team to enhance your strengths and weaknesses within that boat.
Right, and some people might naturally feel a bit worried about the element of risk that poses if you're on your own. Do the sighted people remain within close proximity to being stepped in?
As I say, there's two types of sailing. On that particular competition, they're not. But on the other, but when you're training and any other type of sailing, they are there. We actually have usually 4 people in the boat, 2 sighted and 2 visually impaired. But it's just a different type of sailing. But everything is all do it on communication. And actually both the sighted people learn a lot about their communication skills, because that's how the boat works and connects.
So for somebody thinking at home, you know what, I might want to have a go, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. Are there any opportunities available locally within Hertfordshire, Bedfordshire, Buckinghamshire areas?
Well, you do. I mean, we cover the whole country, so there's people from south and north that we all meet in different locations. At the moment, there's usually training in different areas, but the best thing to do is to obviously look at the website, contact Lucy Hodges, is the Commodore of Blind Sailing, GBR Blind Sailing, and touch base with them, and it's a matter of you get together as a community. And at the moment we've been sailing at Rutland Water, which is an exceptionally supportive sailing team up there that help us out with some really professional coaches. So it's an amazing experience. So if you've never been sailing before, you haven't got to worry. This type of sailing is in a fairly stable boat. They're called a Cllr boat, and they don't typically capsize. So if you want to have a go, just go for it, because the feeling of that, the power you're enhancing with the wind and in nature, together in that team camaraderie with the communication, it's fabulous. It's a fabulous experience.
Brilliant.
And you got everyone in the same boat.
Yes, literally.
Excuse the pun.
Yes. Sound like lots of fun. Judith, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and speak to us about your amazing journey. and we wish you all the best in your cricket game today. I know you're going to go out there and start fielding very shortly. I really hope you guys win this game, and also good luck with your sailing as well.
Thanks so much indeed. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Listeners, if you've just tuned in, you are listening to Send in the Community Show with me, Hafiz Muhammad Umar, and today's show is being pre-recorded from Hemel Hempstead Town Cricket Club, where the club has made a remarkable part of history by hosting the first ever Hertfordshire County visually impaired cricket match versus Berkshire, played here at Hemel Hempstead Town Cricket Club today on Tuesday the 26th of August 2025. And my guests for the first half of the show so far have been Councillor Catherine McArevey, who is the Mayor of Dacorum Council, and also Judith Spencer, who is one of the players for Hertfordshire visually impaired cricket team, as well as Team GB visually impaired sailor. Please do tune in straight after the break, where I will be speaking to some more players, parents and carers, as well as the Disability Cricket Development Officer for Hertfordshire, and that'll be straight after this break. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the second half of tonight's show, Send in the Community, with me, Hafiz Muhammad Umar. I'm a qualified Senko by profession, and I also lead on disability cricket at Luton Town Indians Cricket Club. And today's show we are dedicating to the visually impaired cricket match, the first of its kind happening for Hertfordshire Comets at Hemel Hempstead Town Cricket Club. A bit of history being made here today, as it is also the 175th anniversary of Hemel Hempstead Town Cricket Club, and they've started this inaugural visually impaired cricket match. If you missed the first half of the show, please go back to it. I had some amazing guests on it for the first half of the show, including Councillor Catherine McArevey, who is the Mayor of Dacorum Council. And for the second half, I will have some more amazing guests, including some of our players from today's game. And the first of those two with me are Sam Hoskin. Welcome to the show, Sam.
Hello.
Hi. And also Stuart Pearce. Hi, Stuart.
Hi.
So welcome to both of you. Sam, tell us a bit about yourself, please.
Sure. So I'm Sam Hoskin. I live in London. I've been playing blind cricket since I was quite young, so since I was 10. Been visually impaired pretty much since birth, and I basically started playing with Berkshire, who were playing against Hertfordshire today. I've been playing for Berkshire since I was 10, so 16 years now. So yeah.
Right, amazing. Thank you so much, Sam. And Stuart, tell us a bit about yourself, please.
So I've been playing for the Stags for 10 years. This is my 10th season. I started to lose my sight in 2015. So before that, I used to be a lorry driver. So big change in life. But cricket was actually what turned me around, to be honest.
All right, excellent. Sam, what do you think are benefits of playing sport in general, and particularly cricket, if you have a disability like limited vision?
Where to start, really? I think there are some of the obvious ones insofar as health benefits, mental health and physical health, insofar as getting out and about in the sun, hopefully. I also think particularly people with vision impairment can end up quite isolated. It's very easy to sort of just stay at home, not go out, not do anything. Whereas I think being part of a team, having regular fixtures throughout the summer sort of forces you to get out, which is good. Also, the opportunity to sort of meet other blind people is incredibly useful. You know, both myself and Stuart talk to each other even when we're not playing cricket, asking general advice, sort of blind questions to one another. So yeah, it's really important both insofar as obviously getting out and getting active, but also for networking.
Excellent. And Stuart, for somebody who was sighted from birth and then lost sight over time, how did you find that transition from being able to see and then not being able to see very well?
Well, so it was a reasonably slow transition. You know, I went from fully sighted to probably no sight around 2019. So over about 4 years, and gradual disintegration sort of thing. But I find that it was cricket mainly that kept me sane, almost, meeting up with other people like me, you know, making friends outside of what I would call probably the normal world as we move into the blind world, which is, we all know, quite difficult. But yeah, it was definitely cricket that saved me, you know, and I'm not the best player in the field at all, but I do love it. And I love cricket because it's the one sport that is most like the sighted sport. You know, our game of cricket is so much like the real game itself, you know, and it's so enjoyable.
Excellent. And Sam, do you do anything else outside cricket at all?
Everything. I love my sport. I'll play pretty much every sport that has been adapted for the blind. So I used to play a lot of goalball, play blind tennis, try and run quite a lot. So yeah, it's I'm pretty much I'm always busy, try and stay busy.
Brilliant. And what about you, Stuart?
I play golf.
Okay.
I love golf as well. I'm terrible at it, but one good shot will save you a whole round.
Excellent.
Yeah, but I do love a bit of golf.
All right. Brilliant. Well, best of luck for the rest of today's game, guys. Thank you so much for coming onto the show.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, listeners, I'm now delighted to be joined by another guest, Helen Rutherford. Welcome to the show, Helen.
Thank you.
Helen is a proud mum to Thomas, who's 16 and playing in the visually impaired cricket match here today at Hamilhamster Town Cricket Club, which is between Berkshire and Hertfordshire visually impaired teams. So, Helen, tell us a bit about Thomas and his condition, please.
So Thomas has a genetic condition called X-linked retinitis pigmentosa, which is a genetic condition from birth that's passed on by a parent. When he was born, we didn't know that he had any eye conditions. It was picked up when he started school. We then did the usual of going to the opticians. We were sent to hospital. They tried for about a year or so to improve his vision. We then saw a consultant who referred us to Great Ormond Street. They did a lot of tests there and found out that he had a genetic condition. We then went through another couple of years of genetic testing of Thomas, myself and his dad to find out the exact gene, which is how we came across knowing that he's got this X-linked RP. So he was probably about 7 or 8 before we knew exactly what condition he had. Basically means that his sight, his peripheral vision and night vision are affected and progressing to worse and worse. His peripheral vision will get smaller and smaller over time.
And thank you so much for sharing that with us. And what was that like for you as a parent, having a child, knowing that it's a healthy bone and then realising actually there might be something wrong here with the vision? And since then, how has that journey been like for you?
So the initial moment that we were told that he had a condition, I'll never forget. We were at Great Ormond Street and they informed us there. They do give a certain amount of opportunities to speak to counsellors. They send you a lot of information that you can read to. There's lots of groups that you can support groups for families and carers and the children as well. So obviously it was a huge shock and took a long while to sort of adjust and find out more about the condition, what's his future going to hold, all of those sort of things. It's a lot to take on board for having when your child's very small
And then looking back at it now, forward on some 10 years or so, how is Thomas doing with it now?
Yeah, so he's doing great. I mean, he takes it in his stride. You know, it doesn't stop him doing anything in life, which is great. He loves his sport, and it's fantastic that he's able to carry on. When he was younger, he used to do red ball cricket until there came a point where he couldn't see the ball anymore. So it's fantastic that he was then able to transfer his skills from red ball to VI cricket. And he's able to carry that on for as long as he wishes, really. No matter what happens with his sight, he's still able to play the sport he loves.
Brilliant. And outside cricket, what about schooling? How is he finding that?
Yeah, I mean, there are challenges at school, for sure. You know, he does get a certain amount of extra help to help him with his schoolwork, but it is a challenge in mainstream school if you do have a disability of such.
Well, Helen, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us,
Okay.
and all the best to Thomas today in the match and beyond as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, listeners, we are now joined by Luke Haskett. Welcome to the show, Luke.
Hi.
Luke is the Disability Development Officer for Hertfordshire, and that role has been in place for the last few years. Luke, tell us a bit about yourself and your role, please.
So yes, my name's Luke. My role is, as we said, Disability Cricket Officer in Hertfordshire. Primary roles is to deliver the SEND schools cricket delivery, where we currently go into just over 20 schools each year, and the organisation of Super Ones cricket hubs, which are cricket hubs for people with SEND and disabilities within the community, all free of charge, that we'd love for people to come along to.
Excellent. And your offer to schools, is that throughout the whole of Hertfordshire?
Yes, so we go to schools Hertfordshire wide, and we offer a game called table cricket, which is a game set up on a table tennis table for guys with severe disabilities or more physical disabilities, and we also offer some more traditional softball cricket activities in those schools as well.
And what sort of age groups do you target?
So in terms of the schools programme, it will range from kids that are 6-7 years old all the way up to 18. We go into some colleges and stuff as well, so it's a whole variety of ages on the schools programme. Super Ones programme is officially 12 to 25 year olds, but we also are welcoming of people of any age for our Champion Club programme and Super Nines.
And do you have any champion clubs dedicated in Hertfordshire?
Yeah, so we've currently got 7 Champion clubs in operation. We're here at Hemel Hempstead Town today. They're a Champion club for running VI cricket, and then we've got 6 more around the county.
Are they also based at cricket clubs or
Yes.
youth centres?
Yeah, so no, we're all obviously in the winter we use community halls, leisure centres, etc. But in the summer we look to do all of our activity out of cricket clubs. So at the moment we use Harpenden Cricket Club, we use Chorley Wood Cricket Club, Hatfield High Cricket Club, Kings Langley Cricket Club, Berkhamsted Cricket Club are on our list as well, and there is a group called the Hertfordshire Harriers who run out of Cheshunt Rosedale Cricket Club as well.
Excellent. So coming back to today, a bit of an historic moment for Hampstead Town Cricket Club.
Absolutely.
As a whole, launching visually impaired cricket for the first time. How did you find today and its significance?
Today's been brilliant. It's been fantastic. It's a learning curve for all of us and for me as well, to see the VI game played and the tactics involved, and just the opportunity it's creating for people to play cricket, which is why I do my job and why we do these sorts of things, is to create opportunities for people that may otherwise not get to play this great game.
Yeah. Okay. Listeners, if you are listening from Luton or surrounding areas, you will know that Cricket East has a disability development officer who has a similar role to Luke's. That's my brother Muhammad Cllr, who's been on the show in the past. So, this is for Hertfordshire. You could also contact him for opportunities in Bedfordshire and Huntingdonshire and also in the Peterborough region. Luke, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we wish you all the best for today and beyond. I'm now joined by Mushfiq Ahmed. Welcome to the show, Mushfiq.
Oh, thank you very much, brother.
Thank you for joining us. Mushfiq plays cricket for the Berkshire Stags visual impairment cricket team, as well as for Kent and also for England. Amazing.
Yeah.
So, Mushfiq, tell us a bit about yourself, please.
Well, I had brain hemorrhage. That's the reason in 2017 I lost my sight.
Right.
So otherwise I was all fine. So one day I woke up and I'm blind.
Right.
And there I go. Before I used to be a security guard and I used to work with Asda.
Right.
So since then I'm out of work and playing sports.
Right. Okay.
And I've been in Australia with England tour for cricket, as well as been to Spain, and did also participate in one blind games in Birmingham.
Amazing. So you were sighted until the age of what?
35.
35.
Yes.
And suddenly one morning you had brain hemorrhage
Yeah.
and you realised that you lost all your sight.
Yes. What happens? I took a week off from my work, and I was on holiday. And during the evening, I had extreme pain on the back of my head, and I told my wife, "Call the ambulance," and that's all I can remember. And then 3 weeks later, I woke up from coma, and I was blind. I wasn't able to walk. I was in a Zuma frame. First, I was in a wheelchair, Zuma frame, walking stick. Now playing cricket for England.
And so when you first realised that one of the impacts of your brain hemorrhage had been on your sight, how did that make you feel?
To be honest, mentally very depressing, because the things that I was capable of doing before my brain hemorrhage, I completely can't do any of that. I had to rely on everyone else for my normal job, and it is very, very difficult to think that I can't do this, I need someone else's help. And I'm a person that I don't want anyone help, I want to do everything independently, so it's a very struggle thing.
And so from that very depressing situation to then being able to take up sport, how long did that take you?
You won't believe that. I'm not a cricket fan at all. I'm a football fan.
Okay.
Yeah, all my life I never followed cricket, never even played cricket. It's football fan, and I was quite lucky in that case, because when I lost my sight, I had the local what do you call adult social worker, that she would come and train me on canes, the Zuma frame cane, the walking stick, everything. She was training me, and when she realised that I was fit enough, she introduced me to Berkshire Sports, and there was a group called Reading Association for Blind, where all the blind people do different activities when they go there and mingle with other people. So by chance I came across one of the teammates that plays for Berkshire, and who got onto touch with Stuart Pearce, and who connected me to cricket.
Wow, so that was your journey into blind cricket.
I joined 2019 blind cricket, and because of the COVID, didn't play 20 and all that season. And the next time we played the season, we won the league. And same here, we got called up to play for England.
Excellent. And how does that make you feel now?
To be honest, cricket is the thing that makes me so happy, especially when summer comes. It's like I wake up in the morning and I think, oh, it's 4 days left for a match, 3 days left for a match. It's unbelievable joy that when I play cricket, that I'm playing with the people that similar situation as me. Even though I do lots of things with my children and my family, but when I do cricket, I'm just feel so happy.
And what about accessing services within the community, like for example going to family friends' weddings, going to the masjid for Ramadan or Eid? How does that all work for you?
I'm quite lucky. I always say Allah's grace. Everything is on Allah's grace. that my family is very close to me. So when Eid Jamaats comes, my brother takes me. If I want to go to Friday prayers, the mosque is quite close to me. It's not that close, but it's quite close. And all my life I have lived in that area, and I know exactly where things are, and I can able to go by myself.
MashaAllah. Brilliant. Mushfiq, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you very much for having me. It was my pleasure too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm now very pleased to be joined by young Lila. Hi Lila.
Hello.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
And Lila is with her dad Paul. Paul, welcome to the show as well.
Hello, thank you very much.
And thank you so much for joining us. Lila, tell us a bit about yourself, please.
I play cricket. I play I throw 3 different clubs. I play VI cricket, which is visually impaired cricket because I can't see out one of my eyes. I play for the mixed disabled team in Hertfordshire. I think because of my eye.
Yeah, and also because of autism and Tourette's.
And then I play normal cricket under 15s because I like cricket.
Excellent. And how old are you now, Lila?
I'm 13.
Okay, excellent. And what do you like in cricket? Do you like batting, bowling?
I like bowling much more than batting, and I like wicket keeping because I can't see out my left eye, and you have to stand side on when you bat the ball. And when the ball comes towards you on the left side, you lose sight of the ball when you're standing on it because I can't see out my left eye. So I have to adjust how I stand, which is confusing.
And how was the game for you today?
Tiring, but it was fun. It was great.
It was a long game, 20 balls per player. Is that right?
I think so. I should know that.
Did you do any bowling today?
I did. I wasn't very good at bowling today.
But look, because it was the first time Hertfordshire were playing today, I think you guys did ever so well.
Thank you.
And do you have any interest in other sports or other leisurely activities?
I watch Wimbledon final every year.
Okay.
I don't think there's much else. I like cricket. I play it a lot. I don't think there's any other sports I like.
Okay. What about other leisurely activities? Do you like music?
Yeah, music's my favourite thing. I like music much more than sport.
Excellent. Is that just listening to music?
I like George Ezra.
Okay.
He's the best. I like playing instruments as well.
Which instruments do you play?
I have a keyboard and a guitar, and I have a few other instruments, but I can't play them all. Okay. I think I can play a bit on the ukulele. Bit on the guitar.
I'm going to ask your dad a couple of questions now.
Okay.
So, Paul, day like today, how do you think that has helped young Lila?
Socially, I think it's helped her amazingly. Especially autistic, she struggles with social relationships and social situations, and cricket and sport just brings her alive. She joins in with a team, specifically with a VI team. She's helping others move around the pitch. She's giving advice or guidance to them when they need to move around, if they can't see where to go or where to get the ball. And I think it's something that's going to stand her in really good stead as she moves on. I think it will really help her with leadership skills, communication skills, all the stuff she needs as she's growing up.
Brilliant. Lila, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And well done for the way you played today.
Thank you.
And Paul, massive thank you to you as well.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Listeners, we are coming towards the end of tonight's pre-recorded show from Hammerhamster Town Cricket Club, where a small history was made today for an inaugural match that took place for Hertfordshire Visually Impaired Cricket and Berkshire Stags. It was held today on Tuesday the 26th of August 2025 as part of Cricket Week, marking the club's 175th anniversary. We are immensely indebted to Hammerhamster Town Cricket Club for making this a long-term commitment. There was the unveiling of a placard marking the significance of today's game. It was an excellent days of cricket, thoroughly enjoyed by all players and spectators. It's the first game that Hertfordshire Comets played for the blind cricket team, and here in Luton we are also going to try and work on something similar in the coming years. My guests today were Councillor Catherine McArevey, who is the Mayor for Dacorum Council. She's also Queen's Nurse. I was also joined by Judith Spencer, one of Hertfordshire Comets players. She also represents Team GB for blind sailing team. And after the break, I was joined by Sam Hoskins and Stuart Pearce, two of fantastic players who took part in today's event, and then by Helen Rutherford, a parent of a young person with visual impairment, and she shared her challenges as a parent when her son was first diagnosed, and how she was able to access support and services, and some 10 years later how she is able to manage through access and inclusion in sport and other areas, but equally still dealing with some challenges with a teenage child diagnosed with visual impairment. Luke Heskett, the Disability Development Cricket Officer for Hertfordshire, also very kindly joined us to share his views and information about what is available throughout Hertfordshire for disability cricket, and we know similar things are available in Bedfordshire as well, with my brother Muhammad Qamar holding the same role here. And then after that, we were very, very lucky to have Mushfiq Ahmed on the show, who is one of England's visually impaired cricket players. And then finally, young Lila and her dad Paul joined us for their views on how disability cricket, particularly blind cricket, is benefiting them. Thank you so much for joining us. Please continue to stay tuned. And if you are wanting to get involved with disability cricket more locally, please contact us at Luton Town and Indians Cricket Club. You can ask for me, Hafiz Muhammad Umar, or you can just pop down to the club and we will be able to share more information with you. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you will be able to join us again next time. Wassalamu alaikum.